excited to watch that shit. But now we're talking about a 27 years old that might be killing an old man.
Professionals of the sports are back with their very controversial takes, and it is quite unprecedented that they seem to all be turning against one who has done so much for the sport. As things are, most boxing professionals do not see any light at the end of this tunnel for Mike Tyson. To them, it's going to be all gloomy and sad for the former undisputed world heavyweight champion. Unbothered and indifferent about his recent training footages, they have stuck with their claims and they're not going back regardless. Let's hear them out. Present and past boxers across divisions are looking unmoved by the intense workout sessions of Mike Tyson. They have taken that out of consideration and come for Mike Tyson like a raging storm. They have not only expressed their concerns on the rules and structure of the match, but have also predicted a bad day for Mike Tyson. Some of them have gone as far as questioning the authorizing body of this match, and others who seem quite sure that it won't be an exhibition match have sent words to both boxers as to why such a decision was made. Moreso, they predict a damaging loss for Mike Tyson. To many of them, he could leave the matchup with an unrecoverable injury. UFC lightweight contender Renato Moicano, on hearing about the upcoming fight, called the news absolutely disgusting and suggested that a riot should be done in protest against such an unimaginable matchup. He predicted a sad day for Mike Tyson and even spoke about Jake Paul killing Tyson in the ring. He went ahead to fire some shots at Netflix as well, who he felt had too much love for money. Moicano said in his tweets on X, "Man, if Jake Paul is really fighting Mike Tyson, we as fight fans should riot. Absolutely disgusting. The possibility of one of the greatest boxers of all time dying in a ring is real. Strange times. A YouTuber can kill a legend on the ring." Renato didn't stop with his tweet. He added a video to express his disgust as regards the matchup and predicted the worst aftermath for the baddest man on the planet. "This is an old man with an injury on his back, my brother. I should not be laughing at this sad new to the boxing MMA community, my brother. I just got home and I find Jake Paul is fighting the legend. Mike Tyson and I cannot tell you guys how much I disapprove, and I am disappointed with this, my brother." He moved on to the streaming platform like Netflix and gave them their share of the backlash as well. "It's unbelievable, brother, and people are going to sign up to Netflix to watch that. These degenerates do everything for the money. And let me tell you something, I love money, I like money, but there are boundaries, my brother. You have to respect the age of Mike Tyson. Not only that, you have to respect the legacy of Mike Tyson. So I'm going to bring some points, so you guys consider what I'm saying, because the beginning is easy. It's just a young man beating up an old man. The world is going down. You don't have more respect, that's why family. You're destroying families, brother, and always start with that, my brother. You're losing respect for the elderly people, my brother. It doesn't matter if Mike Tyson is a champion and this and that. He is 57 years old, can you believe that?" Trying not to mince his words anymore, he came out straight and claimed this might just be a death sentence for Mike Tyson. We're talking about this 27-year-old that might be killing an old man.
Excited to watch that shit. But now we're talking about a 27 years old that might be killing an old man.
He went on to criticize Jake Paul's announcement, calling it the biggest fight. In his announcement, Jake Paul tweeted on X, "Promotion, promotion, promotion. If I'm being honest, I don't need that. The biggest fight of the 21st century in the biggest NFL stadium in the US, broadcast live on the biggest streaming platform in the world. That's the MVP way. Whether you're tuning in on Netflix or showing out in person, whether you're Team Paul or Team Tyson, or whether you're a lifelong boxing fan or watching your first fight, you're not going to want to miss this event. I could not be more excited to make this amazing fight available to all Netflix subscribers alongside the hardest hitters of all time, Mike Tyson, on Saturday, July 20th. My sights are set on becoming a world champion, and now I have a chance to prove myself against the greatest heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet, and the most dangerous boxer of all time. Time to out-iron Mike to sleep." Moicano tackled Jake Paul's claims instantly, saying, "This is not the big fight, my brother. If they put you against a guy at the same age and the same level, even that would not be the greatest fight of all time. You know that. You're just at the beginning in boxing, in the fight sport." He then went on to clarify that there's no form of hatred between him and Jake Paul. He is only in disagreement of such a matchup. He ruined the match and made it look more than a disgrace. I don't hate Jake Paul. Actually, if you go to my old tweets, I said that he would beat Nate Diaz in an MMA fight. So I'm not just doing this video to hate on Jake Paul. But man, this is absurd. I don't have words to tell you how crazy that is. That's insane. That's not going to be the biggest fight of the 21st century. That's going to be the biggest elderly abuse of all time, my brother. That should be considered a crime.
That should be considered a crime, bro. I'm not joking, my brother. I'm not joking. And Mike Tyson is a legend. And it's not only that. Look more, brother. Look more. Let me tell you something. What he said.
Iron Mike Tyson is sleeping, taking naps in the afternoon because he's old. How do you say you'll put him to sleep? He has to take his nap after lunch, after dinner. He's an old man. He should be in a home where people take care of him, and you want to beat him up on Netflix. That is just unbelievable, my brother. And that's not just me saying. Michael Dewing is saying that too. He quoted Michael Dewing, "You should be ashamed of yourself, M," and the biggest joke is you don't even slightly realize why.
Taking naps in the afternoon because he's old. How do you say shit like that, brother? He has to take his nap after the lunch, after the dinner, my brother.
Renato Alves Carneiro is a Brazilian professional mixed martial artist. He currently competes in the lightweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. A professional MMA competitor since 2010, Moicano made a name for himself fighting all over his home country of Brazil and is the former interim jungle fight featherweight champion. As of December 5th, 2023, he is number 13 in the UFC lightweight rankings. Leron Murphy, another mixed martial artist, didn't hide his feelings in his tweet. He sounded like it was a procession, and Tyson would be the one taken out. Reacting on X to the announcement of the upcoming bout, Murphy tweeted, "Ah, man, I can't see my idol go out like this." In addition, American mixed martial artist and former king of the cage lightweight champion, Billy Quarantillo, who currently competes in the featherweight division, had this to say about the matchup. In his viral tweet, he claimed, "Jake Paul is going to knock out 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and there is nothing you can do about it." When a fan replied his tweet and claimed his take was irrational, the fan said, "Anyone who really thinks Jake is going to beat up Mike is insane." But Quarantillo had more to prove. He said, "My brother in Christ, he is going to be 58 years old and abused his body for most of that. Jake is 27 and probably on steroids. This isn't the matchup you think it is." However it is, Billy Quarantillo is scheduled to face Gabriel Miranda on March 23rd. The pros aren't done yet. More professionals had more gruesome takes to share. Beyond his claims during the Impulsive podcast, KSI had more to say afterwards. In a tweet, quoting Ariel Helwani's announcement of the bout, KSI quipped, "50+ years old. No one wanted this. So sad to see, man."
Taking naps in the afternoon because he's old. How do you say shit like that, brother? He has to take his nap after the lunch, after the dinner, my brother.
Former MMA fighter Chael Sonnen also reacted immediately to the news of the matchup, and he gave Tyson absolutely no chance, calling the match an elderly abuse. Sonnen didn't hit out at just Mike Tyson. He went as far as blasting the United States government for making room for a possibility like this. It wouldn't be that clear. They would use a different language, such as instead of calling it a fight. I actually don't see the word fight. They're doing this new thing where they call it an exhibition. And the government, fighting in combat, MMA, and boxing, is the only sport anywhere except communist countries that is overseen by the government. Only communist regimes oversee sports, except for the United States in combat. He wasn't just having none of it. He went on to label the government some bad names. He rubbished the government for allowing such a mess under their watch. To him, the United States government are the ones in charge of combat sports in the United States. And if they're in control, they should be more concerned about the safety and sanity of combat sports than the profitability alone. It's just so corrupt the government got involved. You cannot take it easy on a guy. I've heard Flory tried to say that before, that I was carrying him for entertainment. That's actually imprisonable. That doesn't happen. But they've got this new scam where they call it an exhibition. They're selling tickets to an exhibition as opposed to a fight.
That doesn't happen, but they got this new scam where they're calling it an exhibition. They're selling tickets to an exhibition as opposed to a fight. So what the difference is it looks the same on TV. The commission.
So what the difference is it looks the same on TV. The commission that oversaw your other fights and even your co-main event gets up and goes to the back. They've now clocked down for the night. You have 3 other judges who are not licensed or real judges, and then you have an announcer just say the conclusion that they came to. The commission will not allow that to happen in the ring. Chael Sonnen then made references and highlighted the instance of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. So you guys happened to see Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. They brought him right outside the ring onto the ramp, and then, I think it was a draw, and they raised both their hands up. So that's the tactics behind that one-word exhibition versus fight. Fight is actually a legal term because it's overseen by the government. He then shared a recent experience he had with Mike Tyson. I was with Mike Tyson 1 week ago in Saudi Arabia, but it was a big deal, like he's got an aura. When Mike Tyson walked, I was going to interview him real quick. It was a real thrill for me. The first thing I thought was how lean he was. He's opened a gym in Saudi Arabia. I thought they just attached his name to it and he's out smoking weed all day. Finally, Sonnen took note of the age difference, and when he tipped a fighter for a win, it was Jake Paul. He used Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort to reinforce his points and claimed Mike was in for the beating of his life. Jake will beat him, but Mike can go with him. Jake's the real deal, he said. To use history as our trajectory into the future and to use Mike. Evander Holyfield fought some of the most famous fights ever, Mike versus Evander. But Evander fought a guy from MMA, Vitor Belfort, who's just a great fighter. But Vitor was not a boxer. He was good at boxing, but he wasn't a boxer. And they boxed roughly 2 years ago. It wasn't long after Tyson versus Roy Jones, and it was flat scary. Evander should not have been in there. He could not move. He couldn't move by the way of punches. He couldn't move offensively. They had shown some training footage of him, and the commission took a massive hit for allowing this to happen. When people saw the training footage, people thought, okay, he's playing this for the cameras. He's playing slow. He's playing like he's learning these techniques. I thought so too. I thought that this was gamesmanship. But Vitor Belfort, who has never boxed him away so fast, Vito, who had never done it, put away an Olympic gold medalist so fast that it ended Vitor's career. They would not book him again. They labeled him like an elderly abuser. How dare you? And that's what'll happen to Jake Paul. He'll get teased for taking this fight, but he goes off there and cleans his clock, and they're gonna come down on him. The man who gave Mike Tyson the very first defeat of his boxing career also had some words to say. And like the others, he only saw a dead end for Mike Tyson.
Vitor Belfort, was just a great fighter, but Vitor was not a boxer. He was good at boxing, but he wasn't a boxer. And they boxed roughly 2 years ago. It wasn't long after Tyson versus Roy Jones. And it was flat scary. Evander should...
Douglas didn't mince his words. He had something to say to an old man like himself. I know the financial aspect, but old men like us just have to admit the time is gone. There is time for everything. There was a time to set a legacy, and there's a time to watch it grow. Now is the time to watch it grow. Tyson might seem so active, but that's a big fight against his own body. He then claimed Jake Paul was in a natural position to beat and end Mike. He expressed that Jake Paul's advantage was beyond age, but it was a natural advantage over Tyson. Jake Paul should beat and end him. He has all the advantages. I wouldn't want his last boxing match to go this way, but sadly it would, and I'm pained about it. Paul does his stuff naturally. It's his time. Tyson needs so much more to do that. Jake Buster Douglas foresaw a win for Paul. Nonetheless, a surprise wouldn't be ruled out. A man like Buster Douglas would be so used to surprises. After surprising the world to hand Mike Tyson the first defeat of his career and become the world heavyweight champion. Back then, the talented and particularly focused heavyweight boxer flew to Japan to face Tyson in Tokyo with greater than 40-1 odds against him. It wasn't that the public didn't give Douglas much of a chance. It was that he was given no chance at all. If the world thought of the American heavyweight fighter at all, it was as a space filler, someone to keep the 37-0 Tyson busy until the chance to face rising heavyweight Evander Holyfield came along. Yet Douglas chose the occasion to be more focused than he ever had been. Having just lost his mother, the challenger was pouring all his energy into facing Tyson. And it was a period Tyson wasn't having it so easy as well. Going into the fight, Mike Tyson was the undefeated and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and was very popular at the time. He held the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles, despite several controversies that marred Tyson's profile at the time, such as his allegedly abusive relationship with Robin Givens, contractual battles between longtime manager Bill Caton and promoter Don King, and Tyson's departure from longtime trainer Kevin Rooney. However, Tyson was still dominant in the ring. He scored a 93-second knockout against Carl Williams in his previous fight. And as earlier stated, most spectators considered it a warm-up bout for Tyson before meeting the undefeated #1 contender, Evander Holyfield. The fact that it would be a different kind of night for undisputed heavyweight champ Tyson became evident in the first round when Douglas put a masterful jab to work. It looked like the baddest man on the planet had finally met a man he couldn't push around. Not that it was going to be an easy night for Douglas, too. This was Mike Tyson, after all. Even a Tyson who wasn't at his best was miles better than most other fighters out there. However, from the beginning of the fight, it was apparent that Douglas was not afraid. Douglas displayed a lot of spring in his body movement and was not cautious in letting his punches fly whenever he saw the opportunity to attack Tyson. He used his quick and accurate jab to prevent Tyson from getting inside, where Tyson was most dangerous. When Tyson tried to get inside, Douglas tied him up, moved away, or would immediately hit Tyson with multiple punches as Tyson came within Douglas's range. Early on in the bout, Douglas was more agile than Tyson and outlanded Tyson in exchanges. Douglas finished the second round with a snappy uppercut to Tyson's chin. However, seeming to regain his form, Tyson landed a punishing left to the body that had Douglas look at his corner. Tyson's cornermen were caught unprepared. They had not brought an end swell or ice packs, usually standard equipment for a fight, as they were so confident that Tyson would easily beat Douglas. Instead, they filled a rubber glove with ice water and held it on Tyson's eye between rounds. Within the last 10 seconds of the 8th round, Tyson, who had been backed onto the ropes, landed a big right uppercut that sent Douglas to the canvas. Although the knockdown timekeeper began when Douglas's backside touched the ring's surface, the referee was said to have started his own count behind by 2 beats. Douglas rose as the referee signaled 9, but the bell ended the round. In obvious annoyance at his own lapse, Douglas pounded his left fist on the mat. Tyson promoter Don King would later argue the validity of the referee count in vain. In the 10th round, Tyson pushed forward, but he was still seriously hurting from the accumulation of punishment he had absorbed throughout the match. As Tyson advanced, Douglas measured him with a few jabs before landing an uppercut that snapped Tyson's head upward, stopping Tyson in his tracks. As Tyson reeled back, Douglas immediately followed with 4 punches to the head, knocking Tyson down for the first time in his career. In a famous scene, Tyson fumbled for his mouthpiece on the canvas before sticking one end in his mouth with the other end hanging out. The champion attempted to make it back to his feet, but referee Octavio Marin counted him out. Buster Douglas thus became the new undisputed heavyweight champion, engineering one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. The official scorecards through 9 rounds were 87-86 for Tyson, 86-86, and 88-83 for Douglas. The baddest man in the planet would be hoping to give Jake Paul a similar upset on the 20th of July as he returns to the ring again.
Excited to watch that shit. But no, we're talking about a 27 years old that might be killing an old man.
To stay updated with the latest boxing news all over the world, ensure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to receive alerts whenever we upload our news. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly hit the like button. Until next time, peace out.